It is exactly 1 year since I put out that amazing video here on YouTube, wherein I quoted 35 sources in Jewish law pertaining to LGBT issues. As you all know, in the past 4 months, I've been steering away from the topic of LGBT issues. Why have I been doing that? Because for me, life has become more about living life for a deeper meaning and living life for spirituality and becoming more spiritual. As you all know, when you go along the spiritual journey, you're practically not even a quarter of the way there when you're only about 4 months on. I've not gone very far in my spiritual ascension. I've moved forward in many ways, as you have probably seen by now, but I still consider myself to be very, very, very near the beginning. I wouldn't even call it toddler stage of the very, very beginning of my spiritual ascension journey. But today I'm going to go backwards, not back into negativity or back into any means of seeing life from the old paradigm which I used to see things. No, I'm just going to reflect back on that video wherein I discussed 35 sources in Jewish law pertaining to LGBT issues. Why am I doing that? Because in Jewish synagogues, on this Saturday, they read the Bible portion of Ki Tetzei. And in the Bible portion of Ki Tetzei, there is mention of LGBT issues. And I want to talk about that and elaborate on the subject as a result. Sorry for sounding a bit autopilot. I think the word is autopilot-ish. I think the word should be autopilot-ish. I think that's the way I would paraphrase that. I was sounding a bit autopilot-ish. My apologies for that. Sorry for sounding a bit autopilot-ish. So I'm going to reflect on the topic in a sort of like a different way, not a very different way. I started with a very, no, it's not very, in sort of a different way. I'm going to sort of look at the topic in a different way. A year ago, when I spoke about LGBT issues, I said that the Bible does not condemn LGBT people. The Bible has nothing against LGBT issues. I'm not going to discuss that today. It's not my business I've also felt that it's not my business to dismiss anybody's way of interpreting the Bible how they want to interpret it. All these things are none of my business. Everyone's entitled to their karma. Everyone's entitled to condemn LGBT issues. You know, when unbeknownst to them, it's very possible that in their previous incarnation, they were a person who was LGBT. So it's not my business to get into that. But what is my business today is to look at the issue and magnify it and look at it from a very, very holistic perspective. So the common denominator of all the 35 commentaries on this subject, which I mentioned last year, the common denominator between them is the following. They all say that you should live your life of congruence. You should live a life, rather. You should live a life of congruence. You should live your life from a place of deep love and deep connectivity to others. What do I mean by that? Allow me to elaborate. You know, when somebody's not genuine, when somebody lives their life through the lens of incongruence, through the lens of dishonesty, and not living your true self, not being authentic, as a result, the person becomes inauthentic and lives their true self in the closet. The biblical sources pertaining to LGBT issues are all about the importance not to lie to others, not to deceive others, and not to deceive yourself. Most of all, not to deceive yourself. If you've been following my journey, if you've seen the videos which I put out about my transition in particular, you'll see that when I got to live as my true self, I blossomed. I ascended in my spirituality. I ascended in my potential. I ascended into my highest potential. Prior to my transition, life was all about the thought of suicide. Life was all about the thought of, how do I get out of here? When is this life finally over? When is my life going to end? When I got to a better place and I got to live my life authentically, and I got to live my life with congruence and with absolute holistic understanding from within, I got off the ground and I progressed and I became who I am today. All the 35 Jewish sources, or should I rather say most of the 35 Jewish sources pertaining to LGBT issues, are mostly concerned about one thing: living your life from a place of truth, not deceiving others. Don't, even when it comes to the issue of transgender, when it comes to the issue of gay marriage, the only thing that the Bible is concerned about is living your life inauthentically. Obviously, the Bible takes things to drastic measures, and I'm not going to go into that today, because I'm not going to go into that any day, because that's not what my channel is about. My channel is not about rigidity. My channel is not about negativity. My channel is not about finding favor and being mean to anybody, or to even have any means of revenge, or finding punitive measures on the person who is LGBT, or finding punitive measures on anybody for that matter. That's not what I am about. I believe all of us are connected. Our hearts are connected. All of us are just one, actually. We're just one. And if you're going to levy punitive measures on somebody else for what you could consider to be a violation of what you believe in, you're effectively hurting yourself. It's like pinching yourself from this hand, because this hand, one of the fingers from this hand hurt this hand. For instance, you pinch yourself on this hand, your hands go and you pinch yourself back on this hand. It's futile. It's futility. There's no point in doing that. It's silly. That's precisely what it is about. That's precisely what the message I incorporated after studying so many different sources on this topic. I want to follow on and talk about the idea and the concept of seeing others outside of yourself. What do I mean by that? Allow me to elaborate. There are so many people who don't realize that when they judge others based on their inner dialogue, what's really happening is they're judging somebody else based on very little of what they did to them. The way we go through life, we dislike others based on the dialogue which goes on in our own head. Most of our hatred for others is based on inner dialogue. That's basically the way I would put it. Most of the hatred or the dislike or the discomfort we have for others is based on inner dialogue. When you understand that, you can get off the ground and you can really integrate and incorporate the concept of you cannot judge somebody else if you love yourself. It's impossible to judge another human being, to be critical of another human being whilst loving yourself at the same time. If you think about this, if you write this down wherever you can, on your notebook at work, wherever you are, write down this message, wherever you possibly can, nobody will be able to touch your energy. Nobody will be able to tap into your energy and distill it or destroy it. It's impossible. And as a result, your inner dialogue will improve, and you will not see others whom you have put on a pedestal in the past to be on that pedestal. You won't put them on the pedestal, and you won't put yourself on the lower pedestal, which is what we are likely to do when we put others on a pedestal. You'll stop doing that because you're going to be living life from a place of authenticity, from a deep inner place of love and deep inner place of genuineness. So much of the cruelty that goes on in the world comes from people who live life in deceit. They don't even know what they look like in the mirror. So many people don't even have a clue as to what they look like in the mirror. That's part of this concept, and it's part of the message which I started off today, which is incorporated in the video which I put out a year ago, 35 Sources in Jewish Law, all about the topic, all about the concept of living your life from a place of authenticity. Living your life without deceiving anybody else. Don't deceive anybody else. Be your true, authentic self. Be authentic, be honest, be realistic, and you will get off the ground. That is also the battle with the ego, which we all have. It's not going to go away. Yeah, I put out yesterday a video about the battle with the ego, but don't think it goes away. It's working. Most of my life, I don't live from a place of an ego anymore. I take myself out of a comfort zone, and I don't, like I've said so many times, the ego's put itself in the passenger seat. The ego knows it's not the driver anymore, but I still have battles with the ego, and I'll probably have battles with the ego for the rest of my life, because that's what life's all about. And like I said in yesterday's video, the spirit admits you need to have a bit of ego in life, because that's how you get through this 3D avatar which we are living in. This is our human experience, and that's that. That's today's message. If you enjoyed today's video, why not punch that like button, crack the like button. Feel free to share this video with your friends, family, acquaintances, peers, neighbors, and even with grandma. Why not? Grandma too. Grandma will gain from this video, from this message as well. I'm pretty sure about that. If you are my subscriber, I am so grateful to you, and I suggest to you to press the bell notification next to the subscribe button so that you can see my videos right away when they shoot out. Why not see these amazing videos as soon as they get out there? I love my videos. Like I said in the last few days, I've been looking at past videos. Don't think I don't look at past videos. I look at my videos and I'm like, wow, I'm really gaining track and getting off the ground. That is not to say that all the videos are perfect. No, I'm not perfect. I'm not going to be perfect. And I'm going to put out some videos which are imperfect, because you got to see me in my imperfect state as well. I love you all. I look forward to seeing you after Saturday. I love you so much. Have a great Shabbat, have a great Saturday, and a great weekend.